Hello there, everybody, and welcome back. You're with me, Charlie Boy, as we play Magic the Gathering. Duel of the Planewalkers 2015. That's a full name game. Game name, sorry. Yeah. There was the second tutorial. We'll see part 2 of the tutorial, which I think is these two, and then this, the actual major thing, I think. But now let's go learn about augmentations, aka enchantments of the game. At least that's if we're recording right. I think we are. Yep. I always gotta check every now and again. See, enchantments are permanent spells that represent magical resources. Some enchantments affect the entire game. Others, called auras, attack specific creatures or cards. So they can have a major effects on the actual gameplay.
For your third quest, you'll be using a white deck. White's specialty is amassing an army of small, efficient creatures. Your opponent is Onyx Mage.
And it's also for enchantments. Sorry if you keep hearing that noise. I got a little kitty cat wanting attention. Oh, this little girl here, my little catty, wanting attention. Oh.
You've drawn an enchantment. Enchantments are powerful spells whose effects are constant as long as it remains on the battlefield. Honor of the Pure, for example, increases the power and toughness of all your white creatures.
So all these are 2/2. I play this, they become 3/3s until it's destroyed. Which it can get destroyed in many ways.
Power and toughness have increased. Now, attack Onyx Mage with your improved creatures.
There's many ways to get rid of enchantments,
your
so...
Honor of the Pure will affect all your creatures as long as it remains on the battlefield.
Yep, there's ways to get rid of them. Things specifically say destroy enchantment, and other things that also affect enchantments, like exile, non-land permanents, and so on. So there's various ways to actually get rid of all these enchantments and auras. Let's see here.
It appears that Onyx Mage has put a stop to your advancing army. If you attack now, the results might not be good. Perhaps waiting might be the best strategy for now.
Yep. So we'll just skip attack. When he's even with you, he can block one, not worry about his stuff getting destroyed, and destroy your thing in the process. But when he attacks with this, you can destroy him by blocking.
Now you have a chance to take care of this Minotaur problem. Creatures have the ability to block in groups. In this situation, your Glory Seekers will be able to destroy the Minotaur abomination. But in the process, one of your Glory Seekers will also die.
Yeah, because he'll do 4 damage, and you have a total of 6 health. Unfortunately, that's 3 health per minion, so that will do 3 damage to one, 1 damage to another. So, and it does not have to be the same creature in order to block. It can be different creatures teaming up to block a creature. And if you actually let that through, you have lost, so... Now, I don't know what decides the order of what takes damage.
You've drawn a special kind of enchantment, an aura. While enchantments affect the game globally, auras affect specific things, usually creatures. This one looks especially useful right now. This aura allows you to target any creature on the battlefield.
This card makes sure the creature that it's attached to, so you attach it to your opponent's creatures, and they can't attack or block. Now, my real life friends hated me when we was first playing because I had a white deck and I actually had these like the maximum amount of them. So
Now that the nightmare has been pacified, it
least to say my friends were not happy with that, because every time they threw out something big, I just pacified it. Or if I wanted to just annoy them early game, everything they threw out I just disabled. In other words, I can't win one turn.
Aura on your Glory Seeker. The effect leaves it as a 1/1 creature.
Yeah, every caller has stuff equivalent that the others have. It's like all have auras, all have sorceries, instants, creatures, lands, all that. They all have this stuff. It's just some specialize in it more than others.
Night Guard Patrol has some special abilities. Zoom in on it to learn more.
First Strike and Vigilance. First Strike means you'll deal damage for your opponent. And Vigilance means you will never tap. So you can attack and still block the next turn. Which I'm pretty sure the deck is actually made so if you attack with both, to be frank. That way you still do damage. Cause he'll well actually yeah, you can destroy it. I forgot about First Strike. Keep forgetting about that. But that way I do damage and I'll still have my patrol for next turn, of course. And tackle. Yep, and that's the win. Well, I think you could just still poke him with your lower level.
Enchantments can help you win the game, either by improving your creatures, removing your opponent's creatures, or other cool effects. In Quest 4, we'll learn some tricky spells and interactions.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you have to get used to, unfortunately. But everything can be done pretty well. Let's see, how long has this been going for? Only 7 minutes. Okay, we can go longer. We might be able to do one actual match as well. We'll see. Depends how long this one takes. The stack as well. Every spell waits for other players to respond to it. Instant spells take advantage of the stack for surprising at tricks, like dealing damage, buffing a creature, or even countering an opponent's spell. Instance.
For your fourth quest, you'll be using a blue deck. Blue's specialty is disrupting its opponent's plans, drawing cards, and using difficult-to-block creatures. Your opponent is Jade Mage.
There's also creatures that, if they're blocked, they instantly get destroyed. +3/+3, ugh.
Jade Mage cast an instant. Instants work just like sorceries. They apply immediately to the game and are then discarded, except they can be played at any time. This spell makes her Rumbling Baloth larger, but only until the end of the turn.
Yeah, so this can be played both on your turn and the opponent's turn. These are normally used on your opponent's turn to boost a creature of yours to survive and kill an opponent's creature that you choose to block with. Because they think they're safe to actually block, to actually attack, and they won't lose a creature even if you block. But then you suddenly throw out that when you're blocking and you can destroy the creature. Now, it is used to attack sometimes when you just want to do major damage, but not always.
You've drawn Cancel, a spell that counters another one. Countering stops a spell from happening. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, like summoning a creature, you can respond to it with an instant like cancel. If you counter your opponent's spell, it will go to their graveyard and the mana they used is still spent.
Yep.
If you attack now, you'll be in danger of losing.
No attack as you will lose then. Because you won't have a way to block.
Okay, now Jade Mage has cast another giant growth. But instead of letting it make her Rumbling Baloth bigger, you can respond by pausing the action and casting cancel.
Yep. Boom.
Now you've cast a spell, Cancel, targeting Jade Mage's spell, Giant Growth. This zone, where spells live before they resolve, is called the stack. Every player can add more instants or abilities to the stack in the same way.
As long as you have the mana for it. So I still have 4 mana left. So I can still cast another instance if it's only 4 mana or less. Now I can block with this and destroy both monsters, including my own. But it kind of have to after you lose the game, I think they'll. Oh, trample. I hate trample.
You've drawn Archaeomancer, a creature with a triggered ability. That means when something specific happens, this card will automatically do something special. Many creatures have a triggered ability when they enter the battlefield. Archaeomancer, for example, will retrieve an instant or sorcery from your graveyard.
Which, if you look at your graveyard, you only have that one. And you'll survive for another turn by using this. Which you might try to buff it, which is what you need to cancel. I don't know.
Normally, blocking creatures take all the damage from the attacking creature. But if a creature with trample is blocked, it will deal enough damage to kill the blocking creature and deal its remaining damage to the defending player.
Yeah, but you kind of have to, or else you will die right then and there.
Unless you stop the timer.
Yeah, they can be used on monsters too, which that's a deadly monster right now. So now, when you do that, the mana they use for it is still used. So they do not get that mana back. Take control of 2 target creatures, or exchange control. Boom. Return target creature to its owner's hand, so they have to summon it again next turn. However, I can use this to change control of creatures. They can also put down something gigantic, so I can just take it. Hi, Hydra. Oh yeah, that's a big boy. Fortunately, you can't attack this turn, but I can take it. I guess you cannot just play my things. Boom, switcheroo. Now, I have your Hydra. Which I can't attack because of this switch positions, but I've now just taken his monster for good. Gave him my weak monster in return. And every turn, it doubles all the counters on it. And as long as it has 10 or more, which it does, it has trample, so even if it blocks it, I win. I could just probably wait a couple turns, just buff it insanely, but because I'm pretty sure we technically have lands for the main 44 cards.
Ways to surprise your opponents or thwart their plans. Practice using the stack with tricks like Giant Growth, Cancel, and others. In Quest 5, we'll suit up interesting creatures with equipment.
Okay, so there's one more quest. Which, let's see, how long have we going? I gotta check it between each mission so I know. 15 minutes? And we'll make this one a bit longer and go and do the rest of the tutorial. That'll make the next video the actual, unless there's more tutorial after this, the actual, pick your deck and fight. Many cards in Magic have special abilities even after they're cast. Some permanents have abilities you can activate, while others have abilities that trigger when certain conditions are met.
For your final quest, you'll be using a red deck. Red's specialty is aggressive, quick creatures with interesting abilities. Your opponent is Alabaster Mage.
I find it funny how they choose to have a dragon picture, considering that dragons are kind of everywhere. They're in a specific world, but they're kind of everywhere. He just got flying with his Pegasus. It's too little damage. Hi, artifact. Whenever you put a white down, you get health. So great. It's that.
Prodigal Pyromancer, a creature with an activated ability. That means this creature allows you to take an action, pay a cost, and then this creature does something, an effect. For example, Prodigal Pyromancer allows you to tap it, and if you do, it deals 1 damage to a creature or player of your choice.
However, you cannot tap it when you first summon it because it's tapping.
Just like attacking, abilities that require a tap, like Prodigal Pyromancers, can't be activated while a creature is summoning sick.
So he'll get another attack in, but then next turn I can use his ability to just kill it.
Alabaster Mage has cast an equipment. It usually improves a creature. Casting an equipment spell only puts it on the battlefield. To attach or reattach it, you need to pay its equip cost. Equipment remains on the battlefield even if the creature leaves.
Yeah, you have to use artifact removal to get rid of the equipments. So unless you're fighting against an artifact removal deck, you can use equipments without any worries normally. You just gotta make sure you got the mana to take care of it all. So he'll get to the freaking 4 damage in, but I can kill his unit in 1 second without losing mine next turn. Yep. Whites usually have, well, it's mostly just artifacts, but whites usually have all kinds of enchantments and stuff like that.
If a creature with an attached equipment leaves the battlefield, the equipment remains.
Ready to be recast into something else. And it's also time for
equipment. There are many artifact cards in Magic. Artifacts are usually colorless. This means that any color of mana may be used to cast them. Even some creatures are artifacts. Anything that affects artifacts can affect artifact creatures as well.
And there are specific land cards that just give colorless colorless mana as well, so he's got Defender naturally, but if he uses his ability to cast 3 mana.
Torch Fiend. It has an activated ability that doesn't require tapping. These can be used even when a creature is summoning sick. Torch Fiend's ability requires you to sacrifice it, put it in your graveyard, to get the effect.
Yep, and it destroys an artifact. Which, oh, lo and behold, that's an artifact. Bye-bye. And then I can just hit you with this without actually hitting you. So you can't do anything about it. Ha ha. Hi, Angel. I'll get another card probably to either do damage or something.
You drew Dragon Hatchling.
Ooh.
Its activated ability costs 1 red mana. All activated abilities may be used as many times as you can pay the cost. Be careful.
Activate abilities, use it as many times as you want, as long as you have mana. So I can call him out, and then I can use a 5 next turn to give him plus 5 attack to kill him next turn. I kind of hate having to hit the timer, but I think you can also do that for your tapping and stuff, as long as it's an ability you have to activate. Tap any creature while having to tap itself. And then here's an instant, deals 3 damage to target. What should be frank? Well, he has 5 health, yeah, never mind. If he only had 4 health, then you would have used that to deal 3 damage to him, and then just tap this to deal damage to him. But he's had this thing. So he heals every time he puts down a white card. So every time he puts a land down, puts down a creature, or anything, he gets health.
You drew Volcanic Dragon. It has haste. This means it's not affected by summoning sickness.
Yep, so you can just hammer him right in on the first turn. He's a big boy. Look at that. You don't even see eyes. He's just lava. And I'll physically attack with everyone and end this little game.
Equipment and activated abilities are interesting tools that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Use them wisely.
Yep, you gotta be careful on that. Now, I have completed the tutorial, and now it's time to choose a deck and everything. I guess they changed it or something, because I remember having to choose a actual constructed 2-color deck, but we only get to choose one, then that's actually kind of better. So that'll be it for this episode. I'll see you all next time when we choose our deck.